Good morning. It's Dan. Yeah. I frequently address delusions, young earth creationism, the flat earth, incels, trickle-down economics, and race. Recently, I had the misfortune of reading somebody who claimed that African civilization didn't exist and that Africa had never developed anything more advanced than the stick, and that they were all nomadic hunter-gatherers who didn't even have spoken language, let alone writing. Wow. So I guess you've never heard of the Malian Empire, the Songhai Empire, any of those sub-Saharan African empires that were quite powerful and sent diplomats to European civilizations and impressed the crap out of those European civilizations. You've never heard of those guys, huh? Well, right up until the classical period, African civilization and European civilization were pretty much on par. Although Africa never developed industrialization. So you could say that the various African statelets were on par with Europe right up until the 1700s. And only then did the Europeans begin to go beyond what the Africans had achieved. Yeah. The armies of Louis XV or Frederick the Great or George II would be on par with the armies of any of the West African civilizations that existed during that period. Muzzle-loading muskets, massed armies, disciplined fire. And the societies were very similar. City-states supported by agriculture, the occasional large empire also supported by the agriculture of multiple cities. Extensive use of cavalry, metallurgy, scientific metallurgy, mind you, because they weren't doing it the way that Europeans did it during the Middle Ages, where it was a matter of putting the right magic spells into the iron. No, the Africans were putting the right ingredients into the iron, applying scientific principles to it. The scientific principles that would later be discovered by Europeans. Southwest Africa developed metallurgy independently. They developed iron independently. And before their conquest in the 19th century, they had a history of being strong, centralized city-states that stretched back to the Roman period. But when the Europeans colonized them, the Europeans erased their history. They erased everything. They burned the books. Wherever they found them, they burned them. And they justified it by claiming that these books were just magic spells written by witch doctors who just wanted to invoke the devil. No, they weren't. They were history texts. They were accounts. They were the ledgers of merchants and traders. They were the documents of scholars and historians and astronomers. And they were destroyed, obliterated in the 19th century. And all of African civilization was obliterated in the 19th century, to the point where, yes, Africans were forced to start over when they gained their independence in the second half of the 20th century. The fact of the matter is, these people had advanced civilization. They had agriculture. They had metallurgy. They had writing. They had complicated civilization, complex civilization. The idea that these were nomadic hunter-gatherers who only had sticks is a myth created quite literally in the late 19th century to justify white supremacy. And the fact that so many people of African descent have internalized this white supremacist idea of sub-Saharan Africa is a great tragedy. Learn about your ancestors from a source that isn't the white man. Because the white man is going to lie to you. It's that simple. Anywho, take care, be well, stay safe.